issues with Kagwa, all the truths you've never seen.
Hi and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for always coming back to watch my videos. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Please click the subscription button and let's continue to make memories. Today I'll be talking about Trump's attack on South Africa, his withdrawal of funds and grants, and his cutting of aid from South Africa because of the expropriation law that's been put in place by Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa. South Africa has been having these debates about expropriation law. You know, the land in South Africa largely lies in the hands of the white minority. About 70% to 80% of South Africa's lands are in the hands of the white minority, and this was done during the apartheid regime when there were racial discrimination, racial segregation in South Africa. So that left the original owners of South Africa with something very little to battle with, and the opportunities were not really so much for the original owners of South Africa, the black South Africans. So President Trump has cut the funding for South Africa, and he's offering refugee status for white South Africans that are willing to migrate to the United States. And this for me is more or less like hypocrisy, because Trump that is thinking of America first and is opposed to having refugees coming to South Africa is creating a pathway for white South Africans to get into South Africa. And this is laughable because it clearly shows some sort of racism here. You don't want any other person from black African nation or any part of the world to get into the United States, but you want white South Africans to get into the United States. But Trump is not getting something right here. The white South Africans that are established in South Africa will not go to any other country, not even the United States. You know why? It is easy to do business in Africa. The opportunities are great, the cost of doing business, and all the support systems, even the taxation that they would likely be meeting in the United States, you can't compare with those benefits they get in Africa, particularly in South Africa. South Africa is a fast-growing economy. It's a country that has manufacturing, that have developed to a great extent tons of services. If you are creating a pathway for migration into the United States, most likely Trump would just be inviting the kind of people he ordinarily does not want to see in America. Because those who may likely take these offers are the ones you find on the streets, the junkies, the whites who, with no disrespect though, who are not doing anything responsibly there. So most probably, Trump is going to be swallowing the bitter pill to bring in the kind of people he does not want from Mexico and other places in America, from South Africa. I do not think that Trump understands the dynamics of South Africa, and he does not understand what is really happening there. I looked at the law, and I also looked at the contrary opinion about that law. I understand that there's a need to be able to balance the economy and address the grievances of the original owners of the land. And it's something I expect every country to do. But at the same time, laws are not ordinarily made to take opportunities and confiscate assets from people at will. But in this case, the law is making provision for some of the assets like landed property that have been abandoned for donkey years, that have never been put to use and all that. And there's need to turn over such land and redistribute it. But how sincere is Cyril Ramaphosa about his land reforms? It's not about exploring and amassing these things for yourself, but is this really going to be done in a transparent manner that some original owners of these lands will have access to them? And how will this affect the economy of South Africa? If America is withdrawing her funds and aid, how is South Africa going to be bridging the gap? Will other African countries also invest? China is making incursion into Africa a lot, is investing massively. But China, unlike the West, disregard labor laws, disregard human rights, has no contributions to ending corruption in Africa. And China's expansionist agenda is not to the benefit of Africa. And these are the areas where I have my concern. Trump's actions against South Africa, Trump's plot against the Rainbow Nation is not one that will help America or South Africa. I understand that there's a need for countries to synergize. There's a need for the diversity in South Africa to be managed in such a way that it does not affect the peace that South Africans have enjoyed over the years. The genesis of this whole problem started from the Truth and Reconciliation that was not thoroughly done, because if it was done, it would have addressed the issue of the disproportionate distribution of wealth in South Africa. But Desmond Tutu, Nelson Mandela, and others have made their mistakes. How is Cyril Ramaphosa going to be addressing this matter in such a way that every South African will be happy, and it's not like taking people's assets and handing it over to people who may not be able to manage them? I believe that traditional South Africans need beyond land. They need education, they need empowerment, they need support, and South Africa needs the support of other Africans. South Africans should see this as an opportunity to collaborate with fellow Africans and black population all over the world to develop South Africa, to develop themselves and unite in such a way that they will grow and learn from other people's experiences. I don't know how far Trump intends to go with this, because it's also going to come at the expense. America also relies on the resources coming from South Africa, the mineral resources. Elon Musk is also not helping. It looks like Trump might be dancing to the tune of Elon Musk, because Cyril Ramaphosa had called him a day before this decision was made by Donald Trump. And it looks like Elon Musk is the one that is beating this drum for Donald Trump. However, I believe that Donald Trump needs to look towards other nations and collaborate with them, as no nation is an island. America alone cannot do it on its own. America will be relying on other countries to also grow. I'd love to read your comment on this matter, and I say thanks for watching this video.
Real issues with Kagwa. Feel the vibe beyond the